Hi everyone, it's JoJo. I wanted to come here and show you this beautiful TEMU fabric that I got in my haul. It's on the TEMU app. The link will be down below. And it was $2.98 for 60 to 100 pieces. So it's beautiful fabric. Not complaining there. But there's some of it that just not my favorite. I'm not a big polka dot or stripes fan. So I thought I would come on here and show you how I made these pretty little shabby flowers that would be great in your junk journals or whatever project you want to use, even in your sewing. You could sew this or glue it, to like a little dress or a doll dress or baby clothes, whatever you want to do with it. I really enjoyed making this flower, so I thought that I would come along and show you how I do it. The TEMU fabric is 3.9 by 3.9, which basically to me it's like 4 by 4. It's just a smidgen off, so it works as 4 by 4 to me. That's what I have it in my head as. And the only thing that you're going to need for this is some fabric pieces. You can use any size that you like. The bigger the fabric, the bigger the flower. So if you want a great big flower, use a big piece of fabric. And I'm going to use some flat backs like these for my centers. Now, if you don't have flat backs, that's fine. Use whatever you have. You could use a bead, or I even have something like this from, I can't remember where I got it, but I can snip off a little piece and use that, for the center. So whatever you have, a button would work. So I'm using a rotary cutter. And underneath all this mess, I have my cutting mat. So I use 8 pieces of fabric, but only 2 of my 4 by 4. So I think I want to try and see how this, I don't know if I want to use, I think since I'm on camera, I'm going to use the orange polka dots and the orange stripes for this flower. So I'm just moving some of my mess over so I have a little bit more room right here. But I have a cheap cutting mat. I like using it like this, and I'm just going to line these up at the fork, at a corner. Doesn't matter which ones. And I'm going to put it across. I have a metal ruler, and I'm going to find my center line, which is right here. I'm going to try. It doesn't have to be, because you can see the fabric's not perfect. It doesn't have to be. I'm just going to try to line this up in the center here. My blade's getting a little dull, so bear with me. Okay. Then I'm going to stack these again. So it doesn't have to be completely perfect. I'm going to lay them back across here. And I'm going to line this up. Ah, there we go. Make sure to close your blade so you don't cut yourself. Believe it or not, I have a hard time if I don't do that. So now I have a punch. If you don't have a punch, you could grab anything that you have, a spool, set it on here and draw around it, or set it on a scrap piece of paper and draw around it. As long as it fits whatever fabric you're using, as long as it'll fit that, you're spot on. So I have a 1.5 inch paper punch, and I'm going to just punch me a piece of paper. I like to stack these sometimes, like 2 on this one, because I'm going to use it for my template. And I'm just going to roughly cut around it. This does not have to be perfect. I keep telling myself that on all my projects because I try my best, but doesn't have to be perfect, because we're going to scrunch them up anyway. Look at me. I had to take that last little snip to try to make it better. I want to just make sure that these don't have to be lined up perfect. What I want to do, though, is make sure that whenever I cut, I get to go through all 4 pieces. It's kind of hard and tricky not to cut it up here next to me. Now, many people don't like the color orange. It doesn't bother me. I like all colors. But now I'm just going to kind of lay these out one at a time, and there's 8 of them, but you'll see the method to my madness here in a minute. Some of these pieces will be out of camera, but I just want them apart, because if they're not apart, I can't do it. Now, my next thing is I'm going to see where I messed my mat up. Yeah. So I'm going to turn it over. See, I messed my back up of my mat. But that's okay. I just didn't want to mess up my cutting area. I have a wire brush. These are a lot of times used to clean your grill. And I actually got this, I can't remember exactly where, but they can be found just about anywhere. It's just a wire brush. Use what you have. If you don't have one, you may have a different technique for doing your fringe. But I thought this little trick was great. And you don't even have to do this. I just like my, I like my ends. See how they're little, let's see if I can show you. See how they're just a little frayed. So it doesn't have to be perfect. I like the frayed look. So I'm just going to quickly try to get around all the way around this. It doesn't have to be, like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm going to kind of line these up in order. I'm going to go every other one. I think that'll give it a better look. So it's not all looking identical. Bear with me. And then if you get long threads, we'll straighten that up at the end. Some of these will be more frayed than others. Get some of that out of there so I can go quicker. So I think that you get the idea of what I'm doing. I am going to turn off the camera for just a minute and finish up the other 4, and I will be right back. Okay, I have all 8 of my pieces kind of scraggly. I have thread, and I put a knot in the end of it with my needle. This pile of threads, I'm not throwing away. this is like a little treasure to me, and I will come back in another video and show you what I do with those scraps of thread. I'm gathering up a little pile. But I'll show you some cool things that we can do with the little scraps of thread. So for this flower, I'm going to grab a piece of the fabric. I'm going to fold it in half. Doesn't take a lot of sewing skills for these. So now that I have it in half, I'm going to come down and bring it back up in the middle. I'm going to make a short stitch and go back down, and then come back up over on the side. Doesn't have to be, like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm just going to take, I'll show you again on the next one. I'm going to take this one, fold it in half, and I'm going to leave the frayed edges on the outside, and I'm going to go down, come up somewhere near the middle, just take a small bite and go to the end. You take a big enough bite on here that you don't fray it more, because if you go too close to the edge, you're going to get into your frayed little mess there, and it'll just pull it right back out. So it just 2 stitches in there is all we need. So we're going to go back down, come up near the middle, go back down close to where we come up, and the end. And we're just going to slide them on there. If I can remember what I did last, I'll be okay. Most of my stuff turns out pretty good till I try to do it on camera. And that's where, if I'm going to make a mistake, I'm going to do it. But if y'all see me make a mistake, then you'll learn from my little happy accidents. I'm taking my stripes straight up and down, but you know, I could have took them sideways, or I could alternate them. I don't know what that would look like. I might try that one in another, another flower. So this is number 7. We have one more to go. And if you wanted to do more, you probably could. I just, this is just what I chose to do. Annabelle. My little dog come in here and yeah, she's got to make noise while I do videos. So now I'm going to kind of straighten this up a little bit. Doesn't have to be straight. I just like to try to. And then I'm going to find my other end down here. And I'm going to just take my needle, and there's my knot. And I'm just going to go right there next to my knot and pull it through. And then I'm just going to pull tight and just kind of work those as I go. But I want to pull it as tight as I can without breaking my thread. And then I'm going to do a little stitch right there. And I'm going to make a knot. And I just, what I do is I'm going back in that same piece of fabric where that we had our original knot. Just do the 2 sides. Then when I pull my thread, I'm going to go through my thread. And this time I'm going to go through it twice just to add a double knot. And then I normally go one more time just to reassure myself that my knot's not coming out. And I clip my thread close. And now I'm going to open up my little flower. Just kind of spread it around. Open it up, spread it around. And there she is. She's cute. And I'm going to take my Fabri-Tac. I'm going to put a small blob right here in the center. And on this one, I think I'm going to try my little, looks like a little diamond. Make it look a little sophisticated. So there we have that. Now you go back through and you just straighten your edges out more. When this dries, it'll make it a little bit more sturdy. And then see how all this fray is sticking out? If that bothers you and you don't want it, all that extra thread, just give it a haircut. Trim it right off. And there's our little flower. So cute. So now I have two. I just love how these turned out. And I don't know, this, I like the stripes and polka dots that way. I sure didn't like them before, really. Just not my style of things, but I think they kind of make that pop. Then if you put it in a book, on a page, I don't have a book close to me right now, but let's see. If you like this tag, see, it look cute as a tag. It'd be make a really cute embellishment. Even like if you do something kind of shabby chic for Halloween. Now my glue's more dried. I can play and fluff it up. You can basically do whatever. And then you have two pieces of fabric here, you know, so you can kind of open those up a little bit if you want it to be more fluffed out. I just like it just like it is. So let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you give this a try, show me your pictures. You can find me over at JoJo's Jazzy Junk Journals and More on Facebook. Thank you so much for watching. Hope y'all have a great day. Remember to be kind to one another. Bye-bye.